Hey everybody, welcome back to Electric Cafe. Today's album review is on Aha's second album, Scoundrel Days. This is their second appearance on my channel. I did review their 1988 album, Stay on These Roads. I gave it a 57 out of 100. I think it's a pretty good album. Um, this one, this one has some opportunities for sure on it. Um, it does have some good songs. I do like I've Been Losing You, which I think is a very underrated song. Should have been a bigger hit than what it is, or what it was. I do really like October. I do like the songs Manhattan Days and Scoundrel Days. Manhattan Skyline and Scoundrel Days. Both those songs are good. Solid production. I like the artwork as well. I think the artwork is really cool. It's one of the better Aha artworks, in my opinion. I really like the design of it. Um, Very simple and clean. Nice colors as well, and kind of has like a little bit of a 3D effect with the clouds. Um, I wouldn't say embossed, but what do you say when it's sticking out a little bit? Just kind of 3D or something like that. Just kind of gives it a nice touch. Um, but go back to 1986, right? Aha is coming off of a huge year, 1985, 84. Take on Me, probably one of the most popular songs of 1985. Kind of, God, made them like poster childs for little girls, teenage girls everywhere. They were sort of the heartthrobs of new wave. They were like the new Duran Duran. They were like, I mean, they were just everywhere. I can remember when they debuted. It was like a big deal on MTV. It was like debut. We're debuting "Sun Always Shines on TV," which was the second single. Because again, "Take on Me" was such a huge song for videos and MTV and the band, of course. And it was just, I mean, it was everywhere, right? So it was such, they were so big at the time. Like their second single was a huge um, debut on MTV. I can remember it, and it was a really cool video too. If you guys know the video for "Sun Always Shines on TV," it's a really strong song, and I really like "Hunting for High" and "Hunting High and Low" is a really strong, and it's still probably their best album. And so the pressures to make a hit is what nearly it almost in America. I felt like it did ruin the band. Um, it ruined the direction of the band for a couple albums. This one and "Stay on the Roads," and that's why I wanted to review those two first because I think it's the most interesting and I think it's a glaring opportunity, a glaring example of the pressures to write hit music when or making music maybe necessarily that you may want. I felt they're interesting albums to review. I didn't just go to Hunting High or Low or Memorial Beach and review those because those are the bookends of I feel like Aha creatively originally Hunting High and Low is them to the T, right? Then they got confused for 3 4 albums, and then you have them sort of on Memorial Beach. They sort of finally sort of maybe not tried to write a hit song, not write a catchy song, and they sort of became an adult contemporary sort of band that sort of had keyboards. They weren't synth pop anymore. They weren't boy bandish anymore. They were sort of became adults. They were, by 93, I think that's their fifth album or so. They kind of settling into sort of understanding that they're not going to be as huge as they were in America, I guess. It seemed like they tried so hard to continue the success in America that it ruined a lot of this early album and "Stay on These Roads." It kind of, even though there's some good songs on there, there's a handful of not very good songs on there. And it's usually the ones that they're trying too hard. They can still write a good ballad song, like I said in October, or like there's a couple good ballads on on Stay on These Roads, right? Um, there's still some good songs on there. There's still some good popular ones. But you can tell, like, when they're trying to, like, Touchy, if you know the song Touchy on Stay on These Roads, I feel like that's on here a little bit with Cry Wolf. Cry Wolf is a horrible song. It's not good at all. It's not good at all. And it was the lead single from the album, right? So it's just they're so pressured, and it just kind of ruined the possibility of what they could have sound like if they wanted to sound like how they. I bet you if there wasn't pressures on how they would sound like, you take a mix of "I've Been Losing You," which is a fantastic song. You take elements of "Scoundrel Days," ruin, and you sort of take out the parts that are being too popular, and then you take their ballad side like "October." You have all the elements here. You got. They can do ballads, they can do pop songs, and they can do songs that are sort of um, balanced pop, but are still doable. Like the song "Living Daylights" for they did for James Bond. James Bond. That's how popular Aha was. They were doing songs for James Bond movies. That's when you know you're popular, is when you get asked to write the lead song for James Bond movie, right? So that's how big Aha was. But "Living Daylights," it's not a great song by any means, but it's a popular song that shows them that they can do a good popular song and it not be over the top like Cry Wolf is or Touchy. Um, yeah, I don't know. It's just that they get too wrapped up in trying to make songs for 13-year-old boys and girls, like super poppy. Like, I don't understand, like, some of the songs. Like, "I've Been Losing You" is a very complete, aha, good song. Like they should have been in this wheelhouse. When they go over the top and make two poppy songs, it doesn't sound good. And I feel like what I was saying about bringing up Memorial Beach was that was sort of them understanding that they weren't going to, or they weren't attempting, or they didn't feel the pressures to make these hit songs, and they just sort of wrote the songs that they wanted to write. And is Memorial Beach a great album? No, but it's a good album, and it there's nothing over the top, trying too hard. There's a lot of good songs on it. Same thing with "Hunting for High and Low," a lot of good songs on it. Same thing with these albums. There are some good songs on there, but the ones that aren't good are just trying way too hard. Um, Solid production on this album. Scoundrel Days, give 2.5 stars. The chorus is good. Morton's voice is awesome as usual. If you like his voice, I think if you really like Morton's voice, I think it's really interesting. It's a cool voice. I really like his voice. I mean, it's got to be one of the most interesting '80s voices that was in any band. Um, Amazing range of his voice. The Scoundrel Days, the verses are okay. It's kind of an odd beginning to the song to the song and also to the album. I feel like it really isn't an opening song, but it's a good song. It's one of the better singles on this album. 2.5 stars. The Swing of Things is a good song too. It's 2 stars. The last minute of it, the music wise, it sort of saves it. For me, being an incomplete song or sort of a song without direction, the last minute sort of saves it for me. For a little bit through the song, I was kind of like, it's been quite a few years since I heard this album. So hearing some of the songs that I don't know offhand, that obviously I knew it. "I've Been Losing You," "Manhattan Skyline," "Cry Wolf." I knew those songs going into it like by heart, but I forgot about some of the other songs, and it's been a while since I played this, so it's interesting going back to it now. And the Swing of Things, I was like, where's this song going? And then sort of wrapped it up at the end to sort of save it, and gave it 2 stars for being a good song. But for a while there, I was kind of like around 1 star. "I've Been Losing You," best song on the album, 3.75 stars. It's really close to being an excellent album, excellent song. And I think it probably should have started the album. It's the most complete track on here. Morton's voice does amazing range on here. good beat. The bridge is great. The chorus is really solid. 3 3/4 stars. October is a really good slow song. The changes in the song are kind of odd, but kind of cool. 3 stars. Manhattan Skyline, 2 3/4 stars. It's got some really good parts. It's close to being a really good song. Verses are really good. Morton singing is good. Just has some. It just has some choices that I don't think it were ideal. This one goes a little bit more rocking at the end, and I don't think the direction of them sort of including rock music and them sort of expanding about out of their synth pop was a big reason for them sort of trying, you know, those kind of cheesy songs, and Manhattan Skyline has that a little bit. The verses are great. The verses are smooth. It reminds me of the best on uh, Hunting High and Low, like Blue Sky, Train of Thought. Like Morton sings the choruses, the verses so well when the music kind of hits that spot, and it's nice and smooth and nice and melodic. Like Manhattan Skyline, the verses are great, but then he gets into the choruses. Choruses are okay, but then it becomes more rocking, and just some of the directions of some of the songs and them as a band sort of what ruined it for me. Cry Wolf, again, not a good song. I have it 1 star being okay. It's very happy. It's very upbeat, but it's rough. It's very rough. It's just, the chorus, cry wolf, and it sounds like he's howling. It's rough, man. It's rough. Track number 7, We're Looking for Whales. 2 1/4 stars. The weight of the wind, the weight of the wind. 2 1/4 stars. Track number 9, Maybe Maybe. This is what I mean. This is embarrassing. I gave it 0 stars. I couldn't even finish it. It was so bad. It's embarrassing. 0 stars. That really hurts the album too on the score. Getting a 0 star. Soft Rains of April, track number 10, 2 1/4 stars. Um, but I wish Aha would have had a better producer. It was almost like there was no buffer for them in their record label. Like they got them, and then they're doing their songs, and then the record label is like, "We need a hit. We need a hit. We need this. We need a take on me times two." And they just couldn't deliver it, and well, they shouldn't have wanted to deliver it. So I don't know. I'd be curious to really have a conversation with Aha and and ask them if they would have if they had a producer, because I don't even think they had any producer. They might have just been sent to the label and them okay it or not, and I think they probably okayed it because there's some catchy stuff on here. There's some touchy. Ooh, this is really touchy. I'm touchy. You're touchy. I'm touchy. Yeah, let's be touchy. Oh, I like this. This is good. This is not good. Not good. Horrible, in fact. And so I don't think there was a proper producer to really kind of guide them the right way, and or tell them just do what you want to do, or tell the record labels to just go jump in a lake. Like they're not going to sell 10 million copies. They aren't Duran Duran. There's something better. I like Aha better than Duran Duran. I'll be honest with you. I mean I would probably. It's close, but I think I like Aha's. I like Aha better. Their highs are better than Duran Duran, and I also think Aha has better, better lesser known songs than Duran Duran has. And I'll argue that to the T with any super Duran Duran fan. Because they got about the same amount of material too. They've been going on both 40 years too. Well, Duran Duran 45 years, but yeah, there wasn't like a producer to really kind of like let them kind of be and just tell the record label like, Hey, it might sell 1 million copies. It might sell $500,000, 500,000 copies. Just be happy with it. There's no Take On Me Part 2. They're not going to be that big. Like, just let them write the songs they want to and see what happens. And I felt like you wouldn't have got like the cheesy amounts. There's a couple cheesy songs on every one of the next three albums. This album, Stay on These Roads, and Minor Hit, all had some cheesy songs on it, and it sort of ruined their potential in America. And it's unfortunate that Aha is considered a one hit wonder. In America, it's just they're so much more than that. But overall, 21 and 3/4 stars divided by 10 is a 2.17, which is an unfortunate score. Not a great score. I have it around. Yeah, I think that correlates to the album score pretty well. I give the album score a 53 out of 100. I think it's I think it's an okay album. You know, yeah. I feel a little disappointed saying that, but there's some there's two songs on here, Cry Wolf and maybe that are just not good. If you take those out, I think the album's closer to being a good album. Two songs kind of ruin the album for me. I wouldn't say ruin the album. I think I still listen to the album. I think it's an okay album. There's some good songs on here. There's a couple of really good songs on here. I've Been Losing You. Well, actually, just one really good album. October is a good song as well. I'll give them that. But I only have two songs over 3 stars. I have 6 over good. I have 7 over good, but two under 2 stars. So yeah, that's my overall thoughts on Scoundrel Days. Just missed opportunity. I'm curious to know what are your thoughts on the trajectory of Aha after Hunting Wild and Low and the pressures of to write another hit of Take on Me. Do you feel like it kind of ruined the band, ruined the direction, like I feel it did? And do you like any of their music after the '90s? Um, I think they've done some good stuff. Again, it's more in the adult, maybe contemporary or something. There's some ballads in there, and still some rock and electronic music. But they've done some good stuff in the after the 2000s. They're huge in Norway. Their home country, huge in Brazil. I think they still held the record for the biggest concert of all time. I think something was like 350,000 or 500,000 people at one concert that they headlined. Um, so they're huge in South America. It's just too bad they're only considered a one hit wonder in America. I think that's kind of sad because they do a lot of really good songs, a lot of really good music, and their albums, even this one and Scoundrel Days are rated at 53. Stay on These Roads I liked a little bit better at 57. Yeah, there's some duds on here, but I still come back to these albums and listen to them because I really like Aha. But they could have been so much better, I think, if they didn't have a lot of pressure. All right, that's my 2 cents on Aha and Scoundrel Days. 53 out of 100. All right, thanks.